taken, but they're trying like crazy to stop the Senate. We won 2020 hands down. Okay.
Wait, I like answering questions sometimes. This is one of those times. Go look at this guy's video. He's making a lot of a lot of accusations of a stolen election. He also calls me a bunch of names. He's also very angry, and maybe he needs to take a nap or something. But let me address the various things that he's saying about why he thinks the election is stolen. So first thing is, he says Maricopa County machines stopped working and suppressed votes. While it's true that they stopped working, there is zero shred of evidence that they suppressed any vote. People in line were immediately given another way to vote. It took longer for sure, but everybody who was in line got to vote. In fact, there was a lawsuit to keep the polls open longer, and that lawsuit was rejected by a judge because there was any evidence brought by the plaintiff that voters were being suppressed. Number two, the Secretary of State should have recused herself, Katie Hobbs. Why? Because Brian Kemp did it back in 2018. He didn't recuse himself, he won. Are you saying that that election was stolen? Next thing, House and Senate flip seats, and they flip late at night usually. That's true, and it's true that they flip usually from red to blue for a very simple reason. Republicans vote in person, Democrats do not. And not in-person voting gets counted afterwards. So you have this influx of red votes that then gets tempered out by blue votes. Next one, it's taking longer than any other place to count ballots. Not true. For example, Colorado District 3, it's taking longer than Arizona, and Boebert is now winning. Are you saying that if she wins, that election was stolen? Same thing in California District 3. Republican Kevin Kiley is winning, but that will not be called for quite some time, over a week probably. Did Kevin Kiley also steal the election? Republican? Next thing he says is it doesn't take 6 days to count ballots. That's not true. This is the question that I originally asked you. Do you know the procedure? Because when people say that it doesn't take that long, it shows their absolute procedural ignorance. Ballots need to be received, then they need to be verified, then they need to be cured if they need to be cured, and then they can be counted. It's an archaic process, it should be improved, but the fact that it's an archaic process doesn't mean that it causes widespread fraud. That's an invention. And as proof of that fact, Trump filed 56 voter fraud lawsuits. 14 were dropped, 33 were dismissed, 5 were lost. Do you know why? Because they brought no evidence. You keep saying that's a fact, but opinions and feelings aren't facts. Facts are demonstrable. What you're saying is that you don't like when one party wins and the other one loses. Repeating information you found on Parler isn't a fact, and now you know.